Alright, so if you don't know, UFC 304 just happened. Quite the big event for the English, I will say. Giga Chad's still up in life, you know? It's a pretty good card overall. I thought it was pretty good at least. But I think there's something that needs to be addressed. And it's kind of a sad state for the UFC now, you know? And I'm not talking about any of these early prelim fighters, even though, one of them was literally trying to pants the other and expose his ass cheeks to the crowd. Little Jones of you, Muhammad Makayev, but okay, whatever. Anyways, think we need to talk about the fight between Leon Rocky Edwards and Belal Muhammad. And to spice this up, I'm going to be playing a little bit of the fight. Official UFC footage you can see down there. So UFC, don't hate me. But yeah, it was a pretty shitty performance, I think we can all admit, from Leon Edwards. And I don't even mean shitty in terms of like, I was gonna say not in terms of bad, but nah, it was pretty fucking bad. But to be honest, Leon literally has everything stacked against him once again in another UFC event. We saw it a little bit with the Usman being at altitude and everything like that. You can use that for excuses. Oh my, Leon was shit in the first fight in Salt Lake City, and then got that head kick KO. But Leon definitely proved that he was better at a non-altitude, I guess, when he fought Usman 3. But with this fight, it definitely seemed like something was wrong. He was fighting like shit, but he was fighting like he wasn't supposed to be shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like when a fighter is really, really good and you just see them turn their brain off. Like a Vicente Luque and what was that guy? Joaquin Buckley. Where like Vicente Luque just decided to hug legs for a minute straight and get his head battered around. Really, really suspect performance from Luque. But this Leon Edwards fight with Belal was extra premium shit. Leon just didn't do anything. And by anything, I mean, yeah, he had the back take in, I think it was round 3, I want to say. But I think we can all say that Belal won 3-2, 4-1, if you want. I'm on the decision that he won 4-1. But yeah, it sucks to even say that Belal is a champion, but it is what it is. Just to real quick say, I don't even care that much about this fight. I think everyone was more excited for the Tom Aspinall fight. I think everyone knows that Leon Edwards' hype has kind of died away and fizzled away since the Colby Covington fight. No one really cares that much if he's champ or if he's not champ. Definitely feels a lot older than he is, being only 32, going against 36-year-old title challengers. A little odd, but yeah, Leon was just extra crispy shit. And I kind of hate Belal and I don't hate Leon, so I guess you can say I'm biased in that respect. But it's not like I love either of these guys. It's not like I want to see either of these guys become the greatest of all time. But Leon was just lazy in the fight. It's like every time he was in stand-up, it's like he just wasn't throwing and was trying to protect himself. And for whatever reason, he kept on doing that weird elbow stance that you rarely see him do, even in this fight, where he's putting his hands to his head, like his forehead, like a normal guard. But he kept on doing that weird stance where, like, the Dustin Poirier elbow up, sort of thing going on. But he kept on getting cracked. He got cracked, I think it was round 1, really badly, by an uppercut from below, which you almost never see, unless you're Sean Brady getting cracked. But Belal seems to be a little juicier these days, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But going back to Leon, with his extra crispy dog shit performance, he basically, every time there was a time to strike, he was either in an awkward guard that Belal cracked him with before, so I have no idea why you would ever go back into that guard. That's like having your leg break from a check, and then your first fight back, you decide to try to check another leg kick, you know? And Leon's known to be a little bit of a cheater here and there, but this fight, I will say, he didn't do any sort of eye pokey thing, or, you know, didn't grab the cage too much like he did in this Usman fight, Usman 3, where he literally pulled himself up. That you'll see, I think in round 2 it was, maybe round 3. But the issue with Leon in this fight was just that he did nothing. When he got his back taken, he decided to just stand there against the cage and just let Belal get hooks in and slowly, you know, get the back. Or if he didn't let the back get taken, he just sat there. Eventually he would get up, not like these Usman times where he would get up cleanly from clean takedowns. Little interesting, because we all know that Usman's a little juicier than the average welterweight. But, you know, Leon had a very fine time getting up from Kamaru Usman takedowns, getting away from that holding cage position. Maybe that's just because Belal likes sniffing people's asses against the cage. Maybe that's just his thing. But I think the main issue with Leon getting hugged against the cage, he then goes ahead and decides to re-hug. So he was hugged, and he Uno reversed, and he decided to hug Belal. Hugging does nothing. They don't score hugging against the cage at all, unless there's strikes being landed. You know, we've seen it with the Ian Gary, Jeff Neal. We've seen it with, that's like the one that comes straight to mind, where it's just like, you can hug against the cage your entire round, and you will not get that round because he landed one more devastating punch. But, Leon just wasn't on for the first 2 rounds, I want to say. The third round, he switched on for a second, and he was able to, like, get the grappling going because Belal made one big mistake. And then Leon got the back and was holding the back forever. Almost got close to a submission. But during round 4 and 5, I don't know if it was just me, but I swear to whatever god there is, you know, let's not get, you know, too into religion here, but whatever god there is, bro, he was asleep. Like, not in terms of he was choked out, not in terms of he got rocked too hard. His eyes were closed while Belal had his back. I think it was round 5, and I think it was round 5, specifically, I'm remembering, where for 3 minutes of Belal having his back, he literally just was asleep. His eyes were closed, and he was barely moving his arms, and he was barely using his legs, you know? He was just shit. Like, this performance was the worst Leon Edwards I think we've ever seen in any fight ever, you know? This is worse than if, Nate Diaz cracked him. Like, this is worse than that, because at least that's highlighted. At least that's like, oh, you know, a scrap near the end. This was literally, Belal kept on snapping Leon Edwards' head back, outlanding Leon Edwards because Leon would just not throw. He wasn't throwing leg kicks almost at all, rarely throwing a knee because they very rarely ever clinched. And his guard was always so shit. Like, I have no idea what the game plan was from Leon. Especially with a guy like Belal, another wrestler that, you know, your last 4 fights have been against wrestlers. I don't understand what the plan was, doing those weird guard stances and just getting your ass kicked and your head snapped and being pushed all the way back to the fence. Like, what's the point? You know, like, what are we doing? You know, and we can see even here, like, Usman with a quick back take here. This is even quicker than Belal ever did. But it's literally like, where was this getting up and, you know, defending yourself here in the fight with Belal? Like, he didn't do any of this. He was just getting snapped back, you know, and we'll get into why I think this in a little bit. And also, I never want to see Leon Edwards shoot another takedown another day in my life. Please. You know, we saw it in the Colby fight, we saw it in this fight, we saw it in the Belal fight. Never shoot another takedown. Stick to striking and defending takedowns. We get it, you want to prove you're the better martial artist, but when there's 40 seconds left, and you're shooting for a takedown on a round where he had your back for 3 minutes, or held you to the cage for 3 minutes, what the fuck are you doing? There's no world where you think that that's okay. Now, I'm gonna get into why I think that he was thinking this a little later. But yeah, overall, just a really shit performance from Leon. The worst Leon Edwards performance I've ever seen. I don't think Leon is shit. I don't think Belal is shit either. A lot of people shit on Belal. I don't think Belal's bad. I just think he's boring. You know, and he's ugly. And he's a cheater. We'll get into that. But, yeah, overall, really fucked up. Some really important things to mention throughout this fight. Number one, this is UK time. So it was 5 a.m. for Leon Edwards. Really fucked up. Don't know. You know, it's 5 a.m. for everyone there. But obviously what I mean by that is for us Americans or Canadians, as I am, it's like average 12, maybe 9 o'clock, you know. For UK, it's 5 a.m., you know. So I know Belal's from, like, Dagestan in that area. Not, like, where he's from in terms of nationality and whatever, but where he trains. He typically trains up with the Khabib team. Or maybe he's training in America or something, but the time zones are definitely different, you know, than UK time. And it definitely fit Belal more than it fit Leon. Is that an excuse to losing a championship fight? Not really, but it's a factor in getting tired and literally falling asleep in round 5. You know, Belal's so boring that Leon Edwards decided to fall asleep in round 5 while Belal had the back. Crazy. Anyways, another thing, very important to mention. I've heard some people say it's illegal to get dunked on your head. I'm not 100% certain. I've never seen that as a rule in the UFC. However, I know it's a rule in 1FC. You can't dunk people on their heads. And Leon was blatantly dunked right on his dome. So maybe that affected his neck, and that's why his head kept on getting snapped back. Maybe that affected his brain, and why he was just shooting takedowns at 40 to 30 seconds left. But either way, I think if that dunk didn't happen, I think Leon probably fights like 20% better. Because I think that was long-lasting damage that he sustained there. Belal also would occasionally blatantly go for the back of the head. A little bit of a tongue twister there. He would literally just get him down and then strike at the back of the head. And when that wasn't working, he went back to hugging. Ref never gave Belal a warning once. Little interesting. Little bullshit. And here you can see Usman in this third fight takes him down very easily. And I believe Leon actually gets up from this. And we'll see that. But anyways, going back, you might hear the washer in the background. I apologize. Going back to the Leon Edwards fight. Yeah, I think we talk about Leon. Leon is really good, but this fight is just like his brain was switched off. Could have been from like the dunk. Could have been from the time. Could have been from really anything. I think he stated the time really fucked him up. But, you know, we don't have to pretend Leon's this crazy finisher and he would have knocked Belal out if it was his time zone and everything. But we can at least pretend that Leon could have won a 3-2 decision, you know? And just real quick, this was egregious when he did that fence grab. But, real quick, let's talk about Belal, you know? Let's talk about this motherfucker right here. You know what I mean? Big issue with Belal here. Now you might notice this doesn't look Belal. Something's a little off here, you know? He's not looking as big as he normally is. Is this Belal at lightweight? No. It's the same Belal. These are the same people. Somehow. Some magical, you know, potion or serum from that era of that area of the world might be, you know, something's just in the water, I guess. From a young age, they get supplemented, you know? Maybe that's the case. But you can even see in this image here of Belal, I don't know a single natural human being who has that amount of veins, or that amount of vascularity in their veins, and they're natural. You know, this is like a when you're a 0.6% body fat wrist. This is not natural. That is not by any means natural. Listen, I'm not no fucking whatever the guy's name is from More Plates, More Dates. I'm not no expert in the field, you know, but I've seen bodybuilders, I've seen athletes, I've seen, what's it called? Like those people who do crazy diets for crazy physiques, you know, at like lighter weights. I've seen all those people. I've never seen that level of vascularity, you know? And while in the fight, you could see his abs literally had veins, you know? I don't even know how this humanly possible for a vein to be popping out of your abs. Maybe I don't know my biology. You know, I could be wrong. Chest also. I don't even know how the fuck that's the same chest. Like, is this Alistair Overeem? You know, light heavyweight to fucking heavyweight here? Like, what is this? How is this guy the same weight? You can't tell me that these people are the same weights. Like, how can you tell me they're the same weight? You can't. You literally can't. By the way, this image was when he cracked in the top 5. This isn't that long ago. This isn't like a, whoa, you know, 10-year transformation fucking crazy, right? No, it's literally like, this is a couple years of a difference here. Cardio also conveniently better. Chin also conveniently better. Very interesting stuff. You can even see his fucking little pea head. His pea head grows. How? It gets wider. Like, how, bro? It's insane. Anyways, so yeah, Belal, I definitely think is on. If you couldn't get it, he's cheating. There's no possible way. USADA's gone. He can go on all the gear he wants. Obviously, I don't mean that literally. I don't mean, you know what I mean. Like, he's on some sort of performance-enhancing drug for sure. He's on PEDs, 100%, without a doubt in my mind. You know, if Leon's neck wasn't broken from the slam that was occurred, I strongly believe that I'm gonna have to fucking reset this now. I don't even know. I truly believe that what's his name? I think Belal would be nowhere near the level of strength that he is. Like, the way he was taking down Leon was like watching Michael Chandler like toss around a flyweight. You know, like, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. And I think there's no denying it. Like, literally the way he was taking him down was all pure strength. There wasn't, like, too much level of technique other than getting a double leg and then just dunking him right on his ass. Or on his head. If Leon's neck didn't break from that slam he sustained in round 1, I've never seen anyone snap Leon's head that far back. Every single strike Belal was landing, it was like Leon was getting hit from fucking Nate Diaz in the 5th round. It was crazy. It was actually insane. Maybe I'm the only one who noticed, but Belal just looked stronger. He looked sloppy as fuck. Honestly, he looked like a 170 Dricus du Plessis if Dricus decided to drain himself right now, currently. Which is, I don't even know how that passed the drug test. You know what I mean? I think it's complete and utter bullshit that that's even allowed in the UFC. Also, UK timing really fucked with Leon. Also, getting dunked on his head really fucked with him. Definitely. He could honestly have fucking internal brain bleeding at this point. Who knows? Might have broken a rule, might have not. But regardless, that was like the most significant thing Belal ever landed. Other than, I guess, that uppercut in round 1. You know, he was rocked pretty hard in round 1, Leon was. But, yeah. And for everyone being like, oh, well, Leon only fought once a year and wah, 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 wah. Are we gonna, like, pretend Belal's any better? Like, Belal fights, he's fought once a year for the past 2 years. And if you think that's gonna get better because he's 36, turning 37, you're out of your mind. You know what I mean? And yeah, you can see here landed double the strikes. Significant strikes were actually kind of close. And yeah, like, Leon just wasn't switched on. You know, it really sucks that Leon lost the way he did as well. I'm not gonna cope and say that he would have dominated fucking Belal if it was his time zone and if he didn't get slammed on his head, or at least if there was a point taken away when he got slammed on his head, stuff like that. Belal could have won, but I will cope and say that Belal is 100% on roids. There's no doubt in my mind. He's cheating. I think it's obvious. I don't think you can deny it. You can't show me another transition that was this ever in UFC history, you know? Just real quick. Where's another Gotta be another image here. Like, you can even see him with the Sean Brady. Sean Brady looks bigger than him. At least in terms of, you know, pec and arm here. You know what I mean? But the real issue is when you pair him with Leon. And in terms of width, Leon obviously has a tight waist. Makes sense. But his shoulders are way broader. I think he also had the reach advantage. I could be wrong. He might actually not have the reach advantage. I might be wrong there. But his how do I say it? His volume is just like bigger. Like when they're standing side to side, it literally looks like a refrigerator standing next to a beanpole. You know? Like it doesn't look natural at all. For a 185er to look like that, it's insane. You know? So my personal take is that I think Belal's a blatant cheat. I think he's blatantly cheating. And he's going to get away with it. Because it's the UFC, obviously. And they don't really care as long as you're from a certain area of the world. I think Leon wasn't robbed, but he was definitely disrespected by being the champion, number one. Getting the bad time zone, effectively, for the whole card. So it's like not even, you don't even have home turf advantage at all. And then he gets dunked on his head, which I think is illegal, or should be illegal. You know, you can't just powerbomb people, and he's going against someone blatantly on roids. So everything's stacked against him. Again, you can say I'm coping, you can say I'm dead wrong, you can disagree entirely and say I'm a dumbass for having that take. I just think personally, the whole house was stacked against Leon again. Leon definitely looked like shit, no excuse. You're a professional athlete, you should be getting this shit locked down. But, at the same time, he is fucking, he's juiced. He's, you know, Belal's really, really juiced. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. You know, get my thoughts out there. But, yeah. So, if you made it to the end, like always, I hope you have a good day.